Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, it's Anelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. Today, we're looking at the question of, will the New York Mets fire newly named manager Carlos Beltran? And also, should they fire Carlos Beltran? Okay, two-part question. Put it in the comment section below. Will they fire him? Should they fire him? Okay? Before we get into all this, let's just recap really quickly, just so we all are on the same page. Obviously, Rob Manfred, commissioner of Major League Baseball, has come out so far and suspended both AJ Hinch and Jeff Luhnow, the GM and the manager of the Houston Astros, and then they were fired quickly after that, okay? Now, yesterday, it came out that Alex Cora, manager of the Boston Red Sox, has been fired, okay? Or they have mutually parted ways, okay? But he's been fired, and he's going to be suspended at some point soon also. So we've had three people so far, two managers, one general manager, all fired, all right? And if you look at the report done by the commissioner, Rob Manfred, the 9-page report, there's really four main names on there. There's AJ Hinch, there's Alex Cora, there's Jeff Luhnow, and then there's Carlos Beltran, okay? Carlos Beltran was not, before we get into it, he was not a manager at the time, right? He was a player with the Houston Astros, okay? So, and he is the only player named. So this is very interesting. And it's important to first realize that and understand it, because as a player, Rob Manfred already came out and said that he will not be disciplining any players during this time. So no players are going to get suspended, okay? Even though he knows that Carlos Beltran was part of this, okay? He's not going to, if you're a player, you're not getting suspended. And it's different when it's players versus managers in front office and stuff, because the players have the players union backing them, which is one of the strongest, if not the strongest union in the world. And so it's much harder to get somebody suspended. In this case, as a player, they're just going to have to go through a lot more, and he's not going to go through all that, okay? So Carlos is not going to get suspended. But that's not the question. The question is, should he now, after everything has come out, after everything that we know, what role Carlos Beltran played in this whole sign-stealing scheme, right, should he now be fired? Carlos Beltran played a huge role in this, right? It says in the report that basically it was Cora, the bench coach, and the players. And Carlos Beltran is the one player name that's in there, right? And so he basically helped Cora design this thing, what it sounds like, right? And so he was really, really in on the cheating. He wasn't just participating in it. He was one of the masterminds, one of the people that created it, knowing that it was against the rules, okay? So that's interesting, and that's important to keep in mind. Now, we also know that Beltran seems to be someone that is very good at stealing signs, whether legally or illegally, but he's known for stealing signs. He's known for doing some of these things. So we already know he cheated in this case. But if you look at the London series between the Yankees and the Red Sox, if you look at that post-game press conference when the Yankees absolutely destroyed the Red Sox, they hit like 5,000 home runs, they just beat the ever-living hell out of the ball. Alex Cora calls out Carlos Beltran in the press conference. At this point, Carlos Beltran was like a special assistant to the general manager with the Yankees. And Cora continually calls him out and basically says, I see what you're doing, right? He says Carlos Beltran was the Yankees' best offseason acquisition, right? He pays attention to details. He goes through this big long rant about details, and he doesn't technically say sign stealing, but basically he's saying he's over there and he's doing something and I see what you're doing. He calls him out a bunch of times. And he even says, like, he knows what I do, right? We're basically the same person is what he's saying. We both steal signs. We both pay attention to details. He said details like 25 times, okay? So here's someone that was with Cora the year before. They devised this plan. Cora knows that He cheated with me, right? I'm Alex Cora. He helped me cheat. He helped us do this. He's now with the Yankees. They just destroyed us. He's doing it again. He's doing something over there, right? He's cheating in some way. He's doing something. And, you know, now that you have the report and you know exactly what him and Cora were doing, it makes sense. So just another example of 2017 they did this, 2018. Maybe he wasn't cheating, illegally cheating, but he's just kind of known as someone that's going to really push the limits and obviously step over that line. He did it with the Astros. Did he do it with the Yankees? I mean, maybe. I don't know. So now he's hired as manager of the New York Mets, okay? When he was hired, there were rumblings about this stuff going on, but there was no concrete evidence, all right? And I believe the Mets said they didn't even really get into it, Carlos Beltran. But now, after all this has come out, and we know pretty much exactly what happened, and we know that Carlos Beltran was in the middle of this, right? Now, he's your manager. And as manager, you're basically the CEO, the face of the franchise, especially in today's Major League Baseball, right? Back in the day, managers didn't have to do as much when it came to the media and press conferences and answering questions. And I mean, this has become an every night thing now, right? Every little thing you say and do is out there for everyone to see. Part of the job description when you become a manager is you have to be able to do these type of things. You have to be good with the media, right? You have to be willing to do it, and you have to be good at it. And so, especially where now you're in New York, the media capital of Major League Baseball, basically, right? You're going to be in the paper, you're going to be on the news, you're going to be on every social media thing every single night, right? Everybody knows that if you play in some of these big markets like New York or Boston, right, you're going to be, your face is going to be out there, and you are going to be drilled day after day after day on all types of issues. Now you have this big, huge issue, and you're going to have to deal with this. First of all, you're going to have to deal with this the entire year, right? So it's going to be a very big distraction. The second spring training starts, the second that they report, this question is going to be asked in some way, or just questions about this topic are going to be asked every single day. And it's going to become a big, huge distraction. Nobody's going to ask about players doing this, or how's the bullpen looking, or no one's going to be asking anything other than this. This is going to be the first thing, and it's going to go on and on and on, and I just think it's going to be a really big distraction, first off. Okay? Second off, when it comes back to being the face of the franchise, the CEO, right, you now have somebody as your manager that was known to cheat during the 2017 season, and I just don't know if that's what the Mets are going to want as a manager. And I'm not saying that he's a bad person. I'm not saying that he could be a great manager, right? He's a great player. Obviously, Alex Cora thinks that he did great things helping the Yankees as a special assistant. He's known as a great baseball person, baseball mind. He could be a great manager. I just don't know going into this if you want somebody representing your team that has just been known as a cheater in the biggest sign stealing / cheating scandal in a long, long, long time, right? Maybe ever. I don't know if that's the best way to start your new season, your 2020 season, with somebody in the CEO position that is being labeled a cheater, right? I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if you want that as a organization. So a lot of things. Are they going to fire him or not? I'm going to say that I think that he's going to get fired. I do. I want to know what you guys think. I just think there's too much. I just think it's going to be too big of a distraction in New York. Such a huge, huge media city, the biggest in the country. And I just think it's going to be, too much. I think it's going to be a headache, a distraction for a team that is very, very talented, very, very good, has a chance. I know the NL East is extremely competitive, but they have a lot of talent. They have a chance to maybe win the division. If not, compete for a wild card. And I think this is going to be a lot on the table to deal with for the entire year, for the organization, for the players, for everybody. So I think he probably is going to get fired. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, share the video with all your friends, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later.